Are you practicing self-care or are you functioning in burnout? Let's find out. Okay, y'all, welcome back, y'all. Today I am talking about self-care and burnout prevention. Yes, the topic everybody been waiting for, right? Because some of us, some of y'all, some of them, y'all are not practicing self-care. In fact, y'all are in a burnout season of your life, probably. And we need to fix that. Okay? So, a lot of people put self-care on the very bottom of their to-do list, right? Why? I don't know. Because did y'all know that self-care actually helps prevent and can help you recover from burnout? Right? I don't know. I'm just saying. So let's talk about it. Let's start with burnout first. What is burnout? Y'all ask. Let me tell you. Burnout is more than just feeling tired, okay? It's a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged or repeated stress. I'm going to say that one more time. It is emotional, it is physical, and it is mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress, okay? Or repeated stress, okay? These are 3 ways that it shows up. Feeling drained, no matter how much rest you get, right? Feeling detached or cynical about your job or life responsibilities. And then feeling like you're not effective, even if you're doing your best. Okay? It's also important to know that burnout is not a personal failure. It's a signal. Okay? And that signal is saying, hey, you there. You need care. You don't need more pressure added to your plate, but you need care. Okay? So that's what burnout is. Okay? It's that emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion that is caused by prolonged or repeated stress. And it can show up in a lot of different spaces and places in your life. So work, home life, social life, it can just show up because remember, it's about that prolonged or repeated stress and it's not being addressed. We're not handling it. We're just going and going and going like you're the Energizer Bunny. But guess what? You are not the Energizer Bunny. Just saying. Okay? So let's talk about like the role of self-care. Okay? Because we're going to talk about how we going to how you can implement self-care and how it will prevent burnout or reduce it, right? So the role of self-care, right? A lot of people think of self-care as just like, oh, I'm going to take a bubble bath. I'm going to just go to the spa. Those are all great things. They really are. They are all great things. I kid you not, right? But it's more than that. It's more than just let's go to the spa. It's more than just I'm going to take me a bubble bath. Those are great starts. But sometimes depending on how severe it is, you need more. Okay? So self-care is the intentional practice of meeting your emotional, physical, and mental and spiritual needs, right? Consistently. That was the key word. Did we catch it? Consistently. Not just momentarily and then we never address it again. It has to be consistent. Okay? So think of it like filling up your own cup. Because I know like a lot of people in general fill up other people's cup. Right? And 9 times out of 10, they're not filling yours back up. You giving everything to them. Right? And so I want you to think of it that way, like filling up your own cup so that you can keep showing up for yourself, for one, for your family, for work, your community, and anything else that's important to you. Okay? Excuse me. So when you're thinking about self-care, I want you to think about, or when you hear me say self-care, what comes to mind? Okay? I want you to think about things that help you feel restored. Okay? Not things that drains you and make you feel exhausted, but things that help you feel restored. Okay? Okay? And we'll come back to some more examples and stuff. Well, I'll come back to some more examples. Okay? The next thing I want to talk about is just some burnout warning signs, right? Okay? Because one thing we know is like just about everybody experiences stress, right? But when that stress is constant and self-care is neglected, burnout is building up over time. Okay? So here's some common signs, right? So trouble focusing or feeling emotionally numb, getting easily irritated or emotionally overwhelmed, withdrawing from people or responsibilities, headaches, tension, and stomach issues, and then constant fatigue, even after you feel like you've had a good night's rest. Okay? So I want you to take some time and think have I felt this way recently? Have I been noticing any of these symptoms, one or more? If you have, you may be experiencing burnout. I'm just the messenger. Okay? Okay? Think about that. Because even with me, true story, I'll give an example. I was working at a job one time. I was a supervisor. And I noticed myself constantly being irritable, headaches, just always tired, didn't want to go to work anymore. And I loved that job. I worked hard for that position, right? But it was just one thing after the next, after the next, after the next. As a supervisor, you all know that if you're a supervisor, then if your workers or employees aren't doing something, it falls back on you to make sure it gets done regardless, right? And so that was a thing. And I noticed that I would be so short. I had a very short fuse, and that I would come to work just ready to just go to sleep all the time, but I would push through. But it was hard because I was I just don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I'm over this place. And one day I was if I don't take a week off work to just reset myself, we're going to have a problem up in here. And I did just that. I took a week off work. I went and stayed with my boyfriend at the time, who's not my husband, for a week. Just so I didn't have no responsibilities. I didn't have to answer to anybody. I didn't have to do anything but eat good food and watch some shows binge watching. But it allowed me to just reset and not have to focus on anything, and slowly allow me to think about, okay, what do I want to do differently when it comes to when I return to work. Okay? So it gave me that space to do that. Okay? All right. So anyways, okay, so let's talk about some self-care that you can do in real life. So I told you I was going to come back to some self-care activities, right? So again, self-care isn't just only doing bubble baths and spa days, okay? But also, I want you to know that self-care doesn't have to be expensive either, okay? If you want it to be expensive, that's on you. If you balling like that, get out how you live, right? But it doesn't have to be expensive, nor does it have to be time-consuming either, okay? It literally can be built into your daily rhythm in small, intentional ways, okay? So here are some of the 5 areas to think about. So physical, okay? Physical is just simply movement, hydration, sleep, and rest, okay? What type of movement you want to do, making sure you remain hydrated, getting you some good sleep and rest. I just told y'all when I had to take my week off, I watched TV and I slept. for a whole week. I was not depressed, none of that. It's just I needed a mental break from the work overload that was happening. And it allowed me that. Okay? The second thing is emotional, right? So with emotional, you can do journaling, go to therapy, making sure you're setting boundaries with people and building up your support system, your support network. So who can you call on? Who can you talk to about what's going on? That would be that listening ear for you. That would give you the need, the space and time that you need. Okay. The third thing is mental, right? Of course, therapy also falls on the mental. But even with mental is mindfulness. So being mindful, being present in a moment, right? Taking breaks from your screens, because we all know that doom scrolling and being on social media and all that other stuff is a thing. And it's heavy for a lot of people. Or even just learning something new that you find exciting that you always want to do, right? The fourth thing is social. So with social is connecting with safe people. So those who you identify as safe, of course, and then learn asking for help. Remember, I told you guys in a previous video that it's okay to ask for help. It is okay to ask for help. So ask for your help. Okay? And then the last one, the fifth one, is spiritual. So meditation, prayer, reflection, of being in nature. Some people like to start their morning off with meditation or prayer. Go for a morning walk, right? Or even do, I know I have a client that do like a reflection journal in the morning and in the evening. Those things are very helpful. That's pouring back into yourself. Okay? Yeah. So that's that. I'm gonna give y'all a little activity to do just for yourself, and I want you to think about it, right? So I want you to take a moment and to just think about what areas of your life feels most depleted right now. Is it physical? Is it emotional? Is it mental, social, or spiritual? Okay? What areas of your life feels most depleted right now? Physical, mental, emotional, social, sorry, I had my alarm on, or spiritual. Okay? And then once you figure that out, what is one small thing you can do this week to nourish that area? Now remember, I just gave y'all a couple of examples. Okay? So if it's spiritual, maybe this week, you may haven't been praying, or you haven't had your meditation hour, 30 minutes, whatever. This week, I want you to implement that. If you know it's emotional, you haven't been like going to your therapy, you've been canceling it, reach out to your therapist. If you know it's physical and you haven't been moving your body, and when you're usually moving your body consistently, you feel better, you look better, you just look good and feel good. Maybe we should go take a walk, do some type of movement. Okay? Ask for your help. Decrease your screen time. Okay? Connect with people that you identify as safe. Okay? Okay. All right. And then like the one last statement I want to say just about like setting a self-care intention. I want you to remember that burnout recovery and prevention requires consistency, not perfection. So you don't have to be perfect at making these changes. You just have to be consistent with it until you get so that it can be something that you're doing on an ongoing basis, and you start to feel the positive effects from the changes you're making. Okay? So instead of creating a long list of to-dos, I just want you to set like one realistic intention for this week. Okay? So this week I will take care of myself by ... How are you going to take care of yourself? Are you going to turn off your emails after 5 o'clock? Are you going to go for a walk after lunch? Are you going to call a friend for support? Saying no to something that drains you? What is one thing you will do this week to take care of yourself? Drop it in the comments. Because I want to know. Okay? And just to wrap this all up, I want you to just know that you deserve to feel human, okay? Not just productive. Like, you deserve to feel human, okay? Taking care of yourself is not a selfish move, but an essential move. It is very essential to take care of yourself. Because guess what? If you don't take care of yourself, who gonna take care of you? I'm just saying. Just saying. And when you are caring for yourself, you create more capacity to do the things that you enjoy doing, to have clarity in life, and to connect with yourself, with your family. Just saying. So all I'm saying is self-care is important, and burnout can be prevented and reduced. And eliminated, to be quite honest. So, I hope you do the work. Thank y'all for tuning in. Rate, review, like, share, comment. Subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to seeing y'all in the comments. And I will respond. See y'all in the next video. Toodles.